Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Feel Good Friday, live with Pamela. I'm Pamela, your Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. If you're hopping on, say hello. Let me know you're joining me. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me okay. I hope everyone's doing well today. Let's see. All right. Looks like it might be a quiet Friday morning here. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I got an error message, but it's showing that my AirPods are working. Can you hear me? I guess I'll just move forward and hope so. All right, so we're using the beautiful Gallery Suite collection. All this week, I've created some fun projects, a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout, and a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. Good morning, Debbie. Can you hear me okay? I, good, because I got an error message right as I hit live, but it was showing my sound level was good. So just wanted to make sure. All right, let's see. I'm pulling out my samples to share with y'all of what I've created with this beautiful collection of products already. So here is a card I made several weeks ago for a Mail It Monday. As you can tell, I haven't mailed it yet because I wanted to save it to share this week. But using some of the pretty DSPs, the frame die, and then I dry embossed it and stamped that pretty flower and put a couple of little leaves behind there and these motifs, I think is what they're called. It's got like three words in it, but I can't remember. So this would be a good one for maybe a sympathy card or just someone not having such a great time in life, I suppose. And fairly simple, really easy to make. And then on Monday, I created this 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. Good morning, Charisse. Thanks for joining me. I have to apologize for the flies. They've been coming in. If they cross the screen, my back door is right there. That's where the animals go in and out. And I'm going to shut it for the moment, but I've already got flies with all this rain we've gotten, and they drive me crazy. How about you? So I did this in honor of my dad. It gave me the papers in this collection of DSP, kind of gives me a vintage heritage vibe. So, and then the colors also reminded me of my parents' home, the beige and browns and stuff that I grew up in. This is the home that I lived in from the time I was 7 years old to about 21, 20 probably. And mom is still there. My dad passed away back in July of 22, but mom is still there. And we actually have these chairs now. She passed them on to Jeff and I, and they got some new ones, mom and her boyfriend David. So, really enjoyed doing this one using those new party alphabet dies. They're going to be fabulous for our scrapbooking. I used them on my Wednesday page too, And this is in honor of my grandma, who we call Poppy, and that's my dad's mom. So I guess I just kind of went down memory lane this week, and we did some coloring with the stamping blends, and then some die cutting here, a little bit of stamping and ink splattering back there. Pretty simple page we did for that one. And then we're doing two, one real fun fold card and another more like a gift card today, using some of the other designs in the DSP. The designer series paper, I don't even know if I have a full pack laying here. Let me see. Give me 1 second and I'll look and see what I have. I may have mixed these two together, I'm not sure. But you can see it all. This is, I think, maybe more than one pack, but I'm just going to flip through there so y'all can see some of the beautiful scenes, florals, distressed papers that are in here. So lots of different ways you can go with this designer series paper. This was probably one of my least favorites in the Stampin' Up catalog, but now that I've gotten into it and played with it, I really, really love it. And then I shared this as well on Wednesday because we used a sketch from my artisan tip and technique project that went live on Tuesday. So I shared about that, and the we used a sketch from there for this one. I'll flip through this real quick if you haven't seen it real quick. I put a little pocket here so I could put like some blank grid pieces in there and I could draw out some sketches if I think about it. I created this one in Canva, and then these are actually from the catalog, these first 8 sketches. So if you have a 25, 26 catalog, you can find them on page 28. And then here is another one I designed. I did this one this past Saturday with the celebratory sips. And then this is what I was talking about, how you can sketch out your own um, card sketches or scrapbook page sketches using a pencil. And I found, let me see if I can find what I did with it. I ordered this online. I have not used it yet. It's kind of for bullet journaling, but it has, let me see if I can get it out of here. These are all stencils. So it has like grids or hexagons, the squares, the rectangles, the circles. So I ordered this so that I could maybe create some sketches a little bit easier and have some fun with that. I've always I've tried the bullet journaling and wanted to do that, but I don't have the patience for it, I guess, or I don't feel like I have the time to do it. I'd rather scrapbook. So, all right, so there's that. I'm going to add to this, and I'm going to share over the weekend probably my sketch vault or whatever. I'm not sure what I'll call it yet, but I'll be using a new sketch like that for my Wednesday lives for sure, for the 12 single 12 by 12 layouts or page. And then we may have to make one for card making too, because there are card sketches in the catalog as well. So you'll find the scrapbook sketches on page 28. And then I think it's 2 more over. Here's card and tag templates on page 24. And then let's look real quick. There we go. I did pretty good. Here is the beautiful gallery. Look at all the pretty samples in there, all the different things you can do with that. And then this is a big suite of products because you get two. If you buy the whole suite together, you get the two stamp sets, two sets of dies, the embossing folder, the beautiful, where's it at? Pressed flower motifs is what they're called. And then this 6x6 package of designer series paper and the ribbon. So, what's the name of the stencil? These are, I don't know, Haiccheng. Let me see on the back. Yeah, I got them off of Amazon. So I can find the link for you, Debbie, and send it to you. And then you can buy all of this individually, of course, if there's just one or two things you like. If you want to place an order this week, you can get my Scrap and Create kit. There's the designer series paper that I was talking about, one of each. So this is what you'll get in your Scrap and Create kit. Okay, and I used a lot of it this week. There were like maybe 3 sheets that I didn't touch. You'll get all the cardstock and a sample of embellishments for free with your $50 order. And you will also receive the new Global Ink Collective Design Team um, tutorial bundle, which includes 12 alternate projects using this collection of products as well. So all of that for free with just a $50 order. Okay. And then nope, I can't wait to play with this, but I'm not ordering yet. I'm waiting to see if I'll get it as part of my artisan projects, but I don't know if I'll get that lucky. So lots of cool things we can do with that. So let's get into it and get busy. If you have any questions, let me know. Hello, Evelyn and Christine. Let me go back and see who all jumped on. I think I got everybody. Answered Debbie's question about the stencil. Evelyn's watching from Germany. Awesome. And what time is it over in Germany? A little after 10 a.m. here in the Texas Hill Country. All right, so let's move these out. These are our suites we'll be using today. I'm going to use a little bit from each one. And I've got, I think most everything pre-cut. We have to do a little bit of stamping and die cutting, but we'll start with this one right here. And I was actually dreaming of this one last night, I think. I was thinking about the paper that I had left over and how can I make it work for kind of, I guess this is like an easel card. Good morning, Flo. And I figured it out. I couldn't this morning right away find instructions anywhere, but I remember making one or two of these recently. So let's I'll tell you what some of the papers are. You'll get a PDF if you place your $50 order and get the Scrap and Create kit for free. You'll get a PDF that has cutting dimensions for everything, along with photos and links to the videos. So this is a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 piece. And we're going to take it and we're going to first score it at 1 and then score it at 2 inches. And since it's from here to here, which is I think 6 1/2, so then I'm going to turn it this way just so I make sure I get it the right way. You want to score it at half of that, which is 3 1/4. So let me open this up and I can give you another way. So you'd score it at 1, 2, and 5 1/4 if you just wanted to go through that way. Okay. And then let's go ahead and take this piece because we need to score it. It is a 3 inch by 11 inch piece. So we're just going to score it at the 5 1/2, right? in the middle. All right, I think that's all that we need for the moment. And we can go ahead and we're going to fold this one that way and then up this way. Let me get my bone folder. So I'll crease that really good. And we'll also crease this one. Okay, so you have your easel part right here. And so this one will go back. And so this is the direction we want it right here. This ends up being 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. And then this one, just fold in half. And then before we do anything, we can't adhere this one until we do something special to it, but it's going to end up going over this. We will adhere it. So it'll make a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. Just this area will be, well, it'll be a little bit wider than what it looks like right now. 5:15 p.m. That's a good time of the day. It's always interesting to find out where everybody's from and the time difference and all that. Okay, so this piece, I believe, is going to go in here. Let's go ahead and just do that. So don't accidentally use it for something else. This was a 3 by 4 inch piece. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and write your message on here before you put it in here, that would probably be best. Because once you get all the pieces on, it makes it a little tricky to write in there. It opens up still, but, and if you wanted to do a little stamping or something, you could totally do that too. All right, something I did want to share real quick. So I've already done most of my die cutting. We will be stamping and die cutting this. We're going to be die cutting this piece. I already did one of the pretty dandelions, baby's breath. I don't know what you want to call this, but I did a piece of that. And then I wanted to show you this. This is actually all from, let me see if it's the same piece. Okay, so that is this is what you'll get minus, I guess I could just stick this in here so you can see what I did. So this will cut this frame, and then a piece right out here. So my plan is to use this side, and then I'm going to keep this one like here. And of course, this piece is coming out all together, but I did cut out the little banner piece that I'm going to stamp my message on. Okay? So I just figured that out this morning. I was like, oh, use some designer series paper and you can flip back and forth from the patterns. So, and not waste paper. Make the most use of all your paper. Okay, so we'll set, I think I want this one right now with this. I am going to go ahead and glue this on that piece right there, just on the front. And to do that, I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive, like right along, let me get right along the edge here, by the inside of the frame. Already got, I'm going to make my finger sticky. All right, so find your center. I'm going to just line it up down here on my mat. And you're going to have a teeny bit showing on the top and a teeny bit on the bottom. And then just center it, press it down. like that. Okay, so this is going, it's going to hold that up like that. So see that just a little bit on the top and bottom. Now I saw one of the girls, designers from the Global Ink Collective. I noticed how she put this frame on a standard 4x6 card. Well, let me give you an example. See how you only have a little bit showing right here? I mean, it's almost 5.5 inches. It's like 5 1/4, maybe. Yeah, right at 5 1/4 inches. So I saw that she had it like it was fitting in here just real nicely and had a border, the same width border here and there. And I was like, how did she do that? And then I realized she had a strip across here. So she had cut it to make it smaller to fit proportionately on the standard size card. So there's a tip. I didn't do that today, but I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so we're going to stamp on here using this pretty floral. I'm going to use Secret C. That's one of our new, that's what this color is. It's our one of our new 25, 27 in colors. So let's get that inked up. Of course, they're brand new, so they're nice and juicy. And I'm going to stamp it on here, and we're going to cut this out. I should get a good impression since I'm on my glass mat. I've been having some issues when I don't have my glass mat in because I think my table is warped a little bit. Okay, perfect. And then, so we'll die cut this out. That means we need, so there's actually 2 layers of dies in this one. If you haven't seen, there's lots of dies. So I'm going to use that one. And then I need, allergies are trying to get me again. So it looks like it's a beautiful day outside. All right, I wanted to show you how these work. All of this one, and this one work similarly. And so I want to show y'all that. So let's get my, let's see, what did, um, yeah, Christine, that one probably is similar, though I think even the harbor was like dark, even darker than this one. This one has a nice kind of a slate blue. It's like a dark slate blue, is kind of what I think of it. But it would probably coordinate closely. All right, so I'm going to line this up. I think that's pretty good. I'm not going to color it in or anything. We'll do a little bit of coloring, I think, on the next card. So let me move some things out of the way. I think we're good with all this. I'm going to stamp that here in a minute, I guess. I could have done that. Here, let's just get that done real quick before I forget. Still using that harbor. Not the harbor. Now you got me confused, Christine. The Secret Sea. I'm having flashbacks. All right. So that one was easy to stamp inside there. So that's why I went ahead and cut it ahead of time. So we've got, I'll put that over here with those pieces. And let's bring in the big machine. Oh, yeah, I would agree. We haven't had too bad of allergies. I just notice it when I go live and I have like a little frog in my throat. I haven't felt bad, thank goodness. So, all right, so we're going to cut this. So I'm going to put that up in there. And then this one, I want to make sure I have it pulled out like this. I'm going to put it right down in here. So it's going to go through. I'm gonna do it this way, I guess. I'm gonna see if I can just do them both at the same time. I'm gonna try to put it fairly low down here. Just keep that in place. Maybe bring it up a little bit higher. There we go. Right in there. I think I can get them both done at the same time. Now I love this. Can't wait to show you what this leaf pattern does. Because it's not your typical die cut. Just slide those off. And just making sure I don't think I need anything else cut. My scraps. Just gently pull that off. So I've got that beautiful flower. That's one of my favorites out of this collection. Let me put it back before I lose it. And then try to keep that from clogging up. So when you pull this off, it doesn't cut the whole entire piece out. You can actually like kind of go up under here and pop these up a little bit to add some dimension. You need to take your pick tool or something. Like I have the poker on the end of mine, so I could just go up in here if I needed to, or come from the back. So this is what it looks like on the back. Okay. I love that. I think it's so neat. And then we can start decorating this up a little bit more. So what I love about this is that then you can kind of like tuck things underneath it. Let me see if I can get this one popped up enough. See if I got it low enough, the tip. I didn't on my sample card. I don't think it'll go, not quite. So it won't quite go under there. So I am still going to have to like go just over top of that, which is fine because you're not even going to be able to tell. But I'm going to put this piece down next. So I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive. I just feel like it will be a little easier if I put it right on the card here. Again, right along the edge. And then bring this piece in, tuck it up in there. If you can, get these pieces. Where is there it is. This one didn't, there we go. That's the main one, I think. And then just nest it back inside there. So you have these little pieces kind of popping up and adding just a little bit of texture. We're going to kind of put some things over top of it, so it's going to be subtle in the background. But, I mean, you could just leave it like this if you wanted to. But I'm going to add a little bit of extra to it. But first, we're going to adhere it onto our card. And I found the best way. I totally agree, Evelyn. So before I even saw it, or we as artisans, before we even um knew anything about the catalog, before it was released or anything, I learned about this collection because I got asked to do that, like a sketchbook of some kind. I was assigned that as my artisan project for May. And I'm going to put a little bit more right there on the end. I didn't quite get it long enough. So Cindy asked me if I wanted to use the boho vibes that I had used for my on stage presentation. And I just kind of jokingly was like, well, she's like, do you want to use that or some new product? I was like, oh, I always like new product. Who doesn't? So she was like, okay, I'll send you the beautiful gallery. I was like, okay. And then when she sent me pictures of it, I was like, oh boy, great. That doesn't, it wasn't something I was like, oh, yippee. But then as I started creating with it and seeing everybody else's samples too, I'm going to leave that one on there for a minute. I'm going to do one at a time. So I'm going to line it up right here. Make sure you get it centered. You can tap it down to the bottom, and then you can just close that and let it adhere to the bottom. So it should be straight. And if it's not, straighten it up. But I don't know, I kind of feel like I am off just a little bit. So should have just done it like that. Let me see. 1 second. I don't know if I can get it up without making a mess. I just need to straighten it up a tiny bit. There we go. And then you can do this end. Make sure I've got a good crease there. And now you have this piece that looks just like that. Okay, now you will be able to see like that part. You could do some writing on the back if you wanted to, but remember we did put some, that's what I was saying about you need to, well, you could get it up like this and write your message in there. It would still work. And I did not even get it straight on the front, y'all. How did I do that? Hold, please. Let me see if I can pull it up gently without tearing it up too much. I got it straight on the back. I didn't look real close. I'm gonna have to put some more tape on there, I think. So yeah, uh, just always showing y'all how y'all can fix a problem. So y'all know that I'm not the only one that has this issue. Let me see, it's try not to tear a hole in the paper right there. Give me a second. Where are like my, it's, I can see the tape right there and it's not coming up. There, did it work? Just almost. There we go. Oh, let's try that again. Maybe I didn't totally destroy it. I'm going to put tape on here again. And when I bring it over, maybe that's a little bit better. It's still kind of crooked. Oh well, it is what it is. I have my finished sample that I'll show y'all. I'm not sure. And it probably was because I got it crooked there. But I think it'll work. And then I'm starting to make a mess. Clean up my mess. I think it's because I'm getting the hot flash. Okay, now this piece, I'm going to put a little bit, oops, I had the lid off already. A little bit of glue right here. Like just a smidge. Then I'm gonna see if I can tuck it up under this a little bit and just let it kind of fall over here. Gonna have to hold it down for just a second wherever you have that glue so it can adhere. All right, and next we want to take some of our ribbon and you can weave it right back behind here, maybe. There we go. I guess I'm gonna leave it long on this side and then I'll just cut off the excess. So I'm gonna do maybe a bow, like right about here. I'm gonna do it up a little higher, like right about there, I think. Okay. Don't have it super tight, but that's fine. Let's see, scissors. Oh, I put them back where they belong, actually. Surprise. Okay, just cut off a little bit of that. All right, so then we still have this. I'll put it with my pile other. All right, so we've got that going on. I think I'm going to put a glue dot right under there just to secure it a little bit better. All right. I'm going to pull it about right there. So I'm going to be covering up this part a little bit. I'm going to put one more glue dot. I'm going to tighten it up just with my glue dots. I'm going to put one like right in here. And then I can tighten it up right there. Okay, that's going to work. Just little ways you can fix things if they're not working out how you anticipated. All right, so we've got this so far. Now we want to add our stamped image. Just looking, there's some dimensionals, and we're just going to put 3. That, I see that that popped out or I didn't tuck it back in. So let's try to tuck it in there. There we go. I'm just trying to put it right where the seam is. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. Tuck it in there and then kind of let it, so you can still see some of that um, die cut back there. Just taking off the backings, trying to kind of hold it in place. I think I had one right there. I didn't want to put one down at the bottom so that I could tuck it down in there. Now, if you want to play around and maneuver, I don't know if we can, any of these little pieces, like up, like tuck them, play around with them a little bit. That'll work. There's one that's kind of overlapping. You could even maybe bring this one even up and over so you can see that a little bit. And there's this one back here. Okay, so just play around with that a little bit. And then we just need to add this, and I'm just going to glue this right on to that piece. So just a little bit of glue right there. We can tuck this in, lining it up with the ribbon, and grab some of your motifs. That's all I can remember. All right, so I'm going to look. All right, I'm just kind of glancing at comments, making sure I'm not missing anything. But y'all are just talking amongst yourself. Use your spatula end of your yeah, I just don't like changing out take my pick tool. I leave it like this. I've got the spatula somewhere, but I'm not even sure where I have it right now. All right, I'm going to use little ones for this and put one right up here, one over here somewhere. Maybe I'll put it like right there. And then down here in that little corner. All right, that's card number one. Let me give y'all a good look at it. And then you can see the side of it. So it's going to sit right on the desk so they can admire it either at home or at work, wherever you decide to give it. All right, I love this one. I love the blues. It's got the secret sea and the new cloud cover, or these blues that are in here. Now the flowers had white. I just ignored that, didn't worry too much about that, and stuck with the basic beige. And that's that basic beige new ribbon that's in that collection as well. All right, that worked out good. I think it looks, I mean, even with my little boo-boo, I didn't tear the paper up underneath here, so it ended up turning out just fine. And the recipient will never know that I had a little issue. Now I see right there, there's a little bit I could and would probably trim that up a little bit with my scissors, or you could do it with your paper trimmer. I'll try to be real careful and see if I can just get that sliver off. Pretty good. So it's just a sliver. All right, card number one. Let's see what we can come up with card number two. This is more of just a gift card holder, not really a fun fold, but I figured a gift card holder works well with that. So this is a 4 1/4 by 11. So we're going to score it at 5 1/2. And considering it's graduation time, it could be for retirement, it could be for anything. This card, if you wanted to give a little gift card inside, we're going to use the celebrate. We're going to use the celebrate stamp on this one. So it could be for any occasion, even a wedding. This would be great for a wedding. Okay, I'm going to do it the same orientation. So portrait, oops. And then, so that's the back of that paper. You could do something really cool with that or something simple. But this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece. I'm just going to cover the whole piece of not craft, crumb cake. Craft was close to my heart. So Christine's got my brain going that way. Good morning, Wanda. No, I've got mine like this. This is how I have mine. I figured out I like this one better, the little pokey tool. Oh, is it on this one? Ah, there it is. Thanks, Wanda. Uh, I forget. Uh, I'll have to try to remember that. How funny. All right, so there's our standard size card. And then let's see how I wanted to put this down. I'm inspired by a couple of different projects from that Global Ink Collective group. So I'm going to put this piece. This is Mossy Meadow. Let's put a little piece. Oh, let me see. I want it to be under this a little bit. So move that out of the way. So just have a strip going down there. Now this one, I've already cut some pieces out of Designer Series paper. I just used one of the floral pages, I think, and then cut for the back side, kind of a seafoam-ish looking color. We'll use those. This one, this card, we're going to do a little bit more stamping and die cutting. So let's first use this kind of motif looking. What's the other word I was that you could call this. Would you call this motif, or the word's not coming to my brain right now. So it's going to go like this. So I think I'm going to do crumb cake on crumb cake. So there's flourishes, flurs, um, damask. I guess it could be called damask. There's another word I'm thinking of. I can't remember it right now. All right, I'm just going to do some tone on tone. Stamp off a little bit. I think I might just do a row. And since I did it off the edge, I'll do it on both the edges right there. So we'll just leave the middle because it'll mostly be covered up anyways. Let me make sure, let me kind of clean up any excess ink. Okay, I think the dog's outside, so I'm gonna let her in. Come on, guys and girls. Alrighty. And then let me think what else I want to stamp. We're going to do celebrate. So let's grab that. And I guess I need to clean up some of my notes here real quick. I think Debbie said she'd call it a border stamp. True. That way you don't have to get too technical. All right, so I'm going to do it. I thought I would do, yeah, I think I'm going to do it just tone on here. So Mossy Meadow. I'm going to do it on both of these to see. I'm just going to try to, I'm going to stamp it and then we'll cut it out. And then we'll see which one we like best or what will work. So I'm going to go ahead and put like this one. I know I need to stamp something else on it. I'm going to go ahead and tape that down right here so I kind of know what I have to work with. And then I'm going to grab the gallery blooms, and I'm going to do this one. And I think I want to do this. I think I'm going to have to find another piece of um, basic beige. Let me look at my scraps over here. This one might work because that's what we used the other day. And I can just stamp that on here and then die cut that out. I think if I'm going to do any type, I think I'm going to just stamp both of these in crumb cake. So let me find some more blocks, see what I have to work with. I'm gonna have to get bigger ones. Where are, this one will work with, oh, that one. Let's just do this one. Okay. And let me clean this one up and change out the stamp. Or that one. Put this one away. Okay, that'll work. All right, so we got all of that. I want to do something with that. So I need the dies for these two, which are hiding under here. So we've got this one and this one. I think that's it. I need some more tape. All right, let's see here. There's that one. Oh, it's Mother's Day weekend this weekend. I haven't even thought about it much. Bevan has prom tomorrow, and I think we're supposed to go take some senior pictures. So things are kind of hectic. So I'm just looking forward to Sunday, probably preparing for the following week. Nothing special going on. We've done a lot this week already. Call my mama and wish her a happy birthday or happy Mother's Day. And Bevan is actually working. She didn't ask off. I was like, that's fine. We'll spend some of the day Saturday together getting you ready for prom. All right. Let me go through. I'm going to do this first because I want to use my um, embossing folder. So we'll need just plates 1 and 3, I think. So there's one. I gotta get some stuff off of this other one. And then there's number 3. I'm just going to add some extra texture to this piece. Look at all the grain in there. You don't see it. I mean, I see it better in the camera than I do with my eyes. Since it's going up and down, I'm gonna position it about like that, I think. Oops, try to get it somewhat straight. And that through. So just adding some little extra texture. Oh no, let me switch. Thanks, Debbie. Let me know if you can hear me, see if that helps. Mm, if not, I'll take it out altogether. I'm hearing something kind of funny too. And I charged them, so that just gave us a little extra texture there. All right, next I need to get my other plate, number 2, add that, number 3, and then I think we can just, well, we'll have to do this one. Is that any better, Debbie? Still the same. I'm going to take them out all together. All right, that should be better. It's just not as crisp. So thanks for the heads up, Debbie. Probably has to do with our Wi-Fi or something. That, or I'm gonna have to go get my AirPods checked out because they're not that old. Okay, so it sounds better? Or we're doing okay? Was anybody else having issues with the sounding bad? I'll just leave it how I have it. Better safe than sorry. All right, I think I'm just gonna do that. Thought I would maybe do that, but I think that's just gonna work. We don't have to do this extra cutting. Okay. All right, so now let's see where, I think I have just enough ribbon left to do like a little knot maybe. So we're gonna build up, and I think we're gonna go around the card base right here. So let's have a little fun here, or just add a little extra distressing to this piece. I'm just using the edge of my scissors. All right, 1 second. Maybe it was just on Debbie's end. Okay, let me know if I'm going in and out or skipping, because I know that's frustrating. And maybe it was Debbie's internet. All right, so just roughing it up a little bit. This kind of reminds me of wallpaper. All right, so I think I can put this down now. I'm gonna center it there. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate that. I need to try it sometime with because the phone is right up above me. I wonder if the sound is better when I'm not using my AirPods with the phone sound instead of the computer sound. All right, I'm gonna wait. Actually, yeah, I think I'll wait to tie this, and I'm going to just layer some of these on here. So we'll just put some dots here and there of adhesive. And we'll do it up a little bit higher. And that's where we'll tie our little knot right there, I think. So we'll do that one. I think I'm going to bring in, I might have it sitting over here. Probably not. Just gonna look for my blending brush. If I would just put things back where they go. I just saw it the other day, but I'm not sure where it's at now. All right, let me see what I can do, because I'll use this one. I think I just want to use some crumb cake. So I cut these wrong the other day when I was working on it, so I'm gonna get my color off of here. Figured I would use the back side of them for something. So I'm gonna use these for scrap right now. All right, thanks everyone. All right. So I think I'm going to just add a little color. Maybe see if I can get it just around the edges of this. So it'll still be lighter than the crumb cake cardstock, but it will add a little texture to that. And that may be all I do. I don't know. Maybe we'll stick in we'll do just a little bit of green and Calypso Coral. That's what this color is back here in this designer series paper. We're just antiquing the edges is really what we're doing. Okay, so it looks a little bit like that. Let me grab, I'm actually gonna do Petal Pink and I think Seafoam. Hmm. Oh, I guess that's Pumpkin way out there. Running off. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so let's do just a little bit of color on this one and not, so we won't have anything else to put color on. Okay, a little bit of green. I'm gonna do a little bit of the dark as well. It's just a little bit darker. This is Seafoam. And we'll do light Petal Pink. I'm just dabbing it a little bit. Nothing, not trying to get super specific on the little leaves, but add just a little bit of color. I might have to grab the light. I don't know. That might work. I think that's going to be good. That keeps it soft like the background. All right, and from here, I think I'm going to put this one down next. I think I'm going to pop this one up. Add some dimension. And I'll tuck that one out under there. I have to clean up some of my glue mess. Guess I'll just do it with my fingers. This one has some dimension to it too. I'll show it to you in a minute. I think just mainly on the top because it'll rest on, I'll put one right here too. Oh, and then we got to do the inside real quick. I'll show you kind of what my idea was to turn it into a where's my sentiment, y'all? Oh, there it is. I'm gonna put one to turn it into a gift card, I think is what I was gonna say, right in here. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit lower. I wanna tie a knot right about in here. And we'll just adhere that there. I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right there. And then I'll just barely have enough left over, I think. Let's see. Just thinking a little knot right there about where the stems are. So I think I used, I'm gonna knot it since it's so tiny. I'm gonna do a knot. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do anyways. Uh-oh, didn't tack down. Make sure I got it straight too. There we go. Okay, I think it's straight. Once you have that, then you can trim your edges off. Let me work on this one a little bit more, make it a little bit more of an angle. Okay. All right, I think that's about it. Just need to find my embellishments because I don't know what I did with them. I have another package over here. But give me 1 second and see if I can figure out where they're at. There's my other card. I don't know what I did with them. There they are. Okay, so where do I want some embellishments? Yeah, my little putty is not working so great. Let's do one like up in here. They pop off easy. Do not drop them on the floor because they scatter and go everywhere. I know from experience. Let me show you. Okay. So again, just be careful. I think I may, since I have a few extra, maybe do a couple of little tiny ones, like hiding in here somewhere. There, like that. Okay, 5 total. So have a few left over out of your scrap and create kit. And then I'm not even sure what I did with my little green piece I had. Maybe we won't make a gift card holder today. It was this piece. I forgot what I was going to use it for, I think. Okay, we can turn it over because it's not a big deal. And we're just going to glue this down at the bottom, but only on. But before we do that, I did want to do one thing. I don't have a mini. I think that one's too big. No, this will work. I think this will work. Instead of pulling out the die machine, I'm just going to use this. So that's going to be the back. I'm just going to center that, punch out a little spot right there so you can put your gift card down in there and only put adhesive. See if I can get this going, or I'll have to grab my tear and tape. Can't. I left the lid off of it too long, I think. Okay, we'll just do tear and tape. Which will be fine. There. And not as messy. Put it right up to the edge. Just on 3 sides. And then you have a little spot for a gift card. Think it'll fit in there. You may have to put it long ways. That'll be good enough. We got celebrate. I don't know. Let me look at the sentiments. I don't know if there's one that'll work on the inside. I think there is one. And I'm going to put it right down here. So yeah, it'll fit pretty snug. So you may have to put it in there like that with the tear and tape. Um, one more sentiment, maybe. Yeah. So we've got celebrate. We can do this as a wedding card. Using Mossy Meadow. Wishing you love, happiness, and happiness that lasts a lifetime. All right. There are our cards for today. I was just looking to see if, yeah. So I have two. I did make a sample of this one, so I actually have two of them ready to go. Thank you for everything. All right, and that was our easel card. It's got a place to write on the inside. You could always write back here some too if you needed to. All right, thanks for joining me today, ladies. So super. This was inspired by fellow artisan Jacqueline. I'm not going to try to say her last name. Tobizik. I'm going to try. I don't know if it's Tobizik or something like that. I don't know. I need to get her to tell me. I did learn Wednesday that she mostly goes by Jackie, even though everything she has online is Jacqueline. So that was inspired by one of her projects. I just used some different papers and orientation and stuff. So, okay. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Well, that's so strange, Debbie. Huh, interesting. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. Y'all have a good weekend. Join me Monday for Make It Monday Live. And I have no clue. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I also don't remember exactly what the new name of the new suite is. So we will be using something. I think it's going to be an online exclusive that we're using on next week. So from what I recall, I'm trying to go along with the artisan design team schedule. So today, probably around 5 o'clock. Maybe it's more like 6 o'clock Central Time, so 5 o'clock Mountain Time. They will post Group One's artisan projects, which is with this collection of products. And I've created a lot with it and I love it. So I'm excited for y'all to see all the beautiful artwork from the Group One design team members. So there's 5 of us on there. All right, I'm gonna take off and clean up my gigantic mess I have here before I get into anything else. Take care, everybody. Thank you. God bless you all. Bye bye.